Yep, simply y'all. I don't know what be going on, but welcome in, welcome in, welcome in about these scenarios and issues and all of this. I'm speaking on them because it's not looking right, and I don't care who come after who. Like, you're sick, for number one. If you feel the need to go after someone for someone else, and basically neither one of you guys know the person personally. Now, situations that have occurred to do with the industry and certain particular individuals, one's self, is to do with one's self. You are your own man. You are your own woman. Now, as far as the music industry go, at no given time or place or state, region, any of that, anyone should be able to tell you whether you can be a artist, a singer, a rapper, a actress, a comedian. But in the industry world, I don't know what you guys been living by. I know it's particular scenario, particular subjects that black folks refuse to talk about amongst the minority, which we are the minority, but black folks refuse to talk about when it comes to denominations and nationalities and ethnicities. People will close their mouth and they feel the need not to speak of certain things that they be wanting to speak of. They won't speak about them because they be afraid that they're going to lose their position, their place, and jobs and different things of that nature. And that's unfair. That's just like saying you're still being slaved. You are being slaved to keep quiet about the things that you know that are hurting and killing a human being. I don't get it with y'all. And then, it was the news, and I don't know who she is or whatever, but she has the kind of burgundy blonde short bob. And she was on there and she was like, we are fighting, or they're coming up with something to where they're going to be going against people being able to speak their freedom of speech. Like, you're not going to be able to speak and say certain things and do certain things because they don't want to, basically, what she's saying is hear it, basically. So basically they're saying that for the rest of our lives and for the rest of our duration, whereas we're supposed to be free, black people are supposed to be free, and they're supposed to be able to speak and say things that are truthful, things that are right, they're not going to be able to speak it. Okay, now moving forward, we're jumping back over into politics of the industry or whatever is going on with the industry, because it's starting to make me believe that all of you guys are in a cult, in with the Illuminati. Because, you can't sit here. Okay, this is how I know. I sat back and what God was telling me, I sat back and I examined and I observed on the internet. Someone went personally, and it got to be someone famous who has power in that area, basically on the internet. Basically, they went and paid other individuals to stop my movement, my channel, and from speaking things that need to be heard. But it was all out of control. They're feeling the need to think, oh, she's not going to come in here, or I got to monetize her, monitor her movements. Basically, what happened here. And it's sickening, okay? Because if you don't know a person, your lane, being in your lane from my lane is my lane from your lane. It's nothing to do with you. You don't have any business in my lane. I don't have any business. If I don't come and speak directly to you and cause an issue with you, then no one have to praise you. No one have to support you. No one have to. And whomever did this, they did it on the accountability of me not bowing to their feet and worshiping them and putting them on a pedestal that they do not deserve. I don't know you people. I don't know people in the industry to go and praise someone else when I've been taught different. I know my rights. I know what the spirit, in the spiritual realm, what God have showed me and told me. And if you give a certain thing too much control, that they're taking your power. That's just like me being just one individual little me. And I go and give my power to a celebrity or whatever, as to where I'm letting them rule me, or I'm looking at them as a god or something as that nature, of that nature. Then I'm looking at this person as a god, and you don't see nobody else in the industry or nowhere else trying to have that much power over no one. Other races and all of that, they are able to move freely and do what they want as they please. And I came and I delivered a message, and I had said, because God had told me, and it was for the black men, and starting from young to old, from old to young, that a lot of men, because they're out of, what is it? God had sent me into this place to speak. People are being out of, they're not being in their rightful, and it's to do with, basically a lot to do with men. And it's to do a lot to do with black men. They are not standing up to be the leaders that they are supposed to be. They're out of their I forget the word that I want to use right now, but they're out of it, and they're out of line. They're not standing up. They're not being the kings that they should be. They are not standing up properly and speaking against inappropriate propagandas that are occurring in the world. Yes, they can stand up, by all means necessary. They stand up and do all this stuff and date outside their, other race of females and all this and that. But for their own, they're not standing up. They are allowing other people in other races, other colors, to take authority over them and basically still rule over them as a man. And that's what I was stating. And I specifically came and stated that, and I said that God had said that, people are going to be in trouble. People are going to be in trouble. And it is black men. Black men are going to be in trouble because they're not in their appropriate place and space that they're supposed to be in as a man under God. They are supposed to be kings. They are supposed to be standing up, leading, teaching, doing things in the proper manner, and telling the truth, speaking the truth, and being about the truth, and doing things as any other man of any other color would do. And they're not doing it. So I told them, just as far as you can go and read, yes, a lot of people say, I don't believe in, and there's no religion in what I speak. I speak from a spiritual aspect that have led and guided me all of my life, that I know to show approve that it's real, and I believe. All I can tell you is I believe, because I have seen supernatural things happen, take place, things occur that are in the spiritual realm that made me a believer. As far as all this religion and believing in someone and someone being a god and, doing all this stuff, cult leaders, whatever. I don't believe in any of that stuff, cults and all of that, because if you're withholding a cult, then that's basically still being a gang, a form of a gang. You can't be in these gangs. That's just like Blood and Crips. Those are cults to me. They're still gangs, things that we serve, things that we participate in when we are carnal minded and we don't know any better, and we just have to seek out a home to feel accepted. We go out into the world, and we go into the streets, and we join in different things or whatever, and gangs and into these groups and all this stuff to feel like we belong to something. And you're out of your element. You're out of your body. You are not in your proper, appropriate place and space. Simple. It's simple. Okay, again, I state here, in the industry, I don't know what y'all got going on or whatever, but like I say, someone went and stopped and blocked and all of that, and it's showing up in all the readings. It's showing up in all the readings. And God had already he narrowed it down to who it is. Okay. And if I'm wrong, then God strike me down, because God have showed me to the point blank penny to where I know it's coming from these certain individuals, which could be a couple, which people are looking at them. It's like they get scared and they get nervous to do with the industry. Oh. And you could hear different other celebrities. They talk and they speak about it and all that. And it's almost like Jay-Z and Beyonce, like they got power over people or whatever to do or say with money or whatever, and like they can cause things to happen in your world. And I know that they have went and done it to me. They have no business watching me. They have no business me in regarding to the politics, me in regarding to the Crips and the Bloods, me in regarding to life at itself. Nobody have no business, no power, no anything over one individual to even try to control them. No, you are of the devil. You are really you're leading people on, and you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, that you have no business trying to control and bother with and mess with, to do with other people. You let other people walk their lane and you walk yours. If you are in a place and space of control, you are narcissistic. You are of the devil, because most of narcissistic people are being controlled by an entity, by demons. You have no place and space to control nobody and how they move or make their movements, or whether they speak, move, do, operate, nothing. If you are doing that, you are a cult leader. I've seen people on here. Okay, I've heard stories. Well, I narrowed it down where God was showing me, because I had different people coming for me. And, I've narrowed it down to the point blank penny, to where I know where it's coming from. And I'm coming personally to ask this person in the industry, you are not my slave master. Beyonce and Jay-Z is not my slave master. You are not a master, period, over no one. If you are doing that, you are being led and guided by the devil. You have no right to have that much power over anything. You have power over your money, over how you move, over yourself, over your businesses, over your operation, over your crew, whoever you're managing, over your particular space and place in the industry. You are to control that. Anything outside of that, if you are trying to control it by money, power, so it's starting to make it hard for me to believe that you are a good person. If you are you are trying to control another individual by money, power, their movements, how you control people, another individual, you are out of line. Nobody have no business. We are here to only control what we operate. And that's things that we are in charge of, that we are doing under God. Anything outside of that. Now, if I was to go into the industry and I would sign under Jay-Z and Beyonce's label, then they have a specific certain type of, they're going to have a certain type in space and place to do with me of controlling. And that's meaning I went in under them, I'm signing under them, I'm giving them ownership basically to control me, basically to have a part of my finances, who I am as a person. You're allowing people to control you once you do that. You sign with anyone or whatever under labels to become artists under different people as your manager. They own a certain level of who you are. You're giving them the rights to have a part of you as a person and how you basically move at times. But no, not me. I don't know Jay-Z and Beyonce to be a part of whatever operation that they are trying to operate. And you got people on here, clearly they are being slaughtered for speaking their truth outside of Jay-Z and Beyonce. You see people and you see their movement. They're scared. Oh it's almost like, they have power enough to destroy you and cause you to be blackballed, basically, is what they're saying. They have money. They will do this and do that or whatever. It's artists is that you're all under Jay-Z and Beyonce, you might as well say. You're all being monetized and controlled by Jay-Z and Beyonce, and that's sickening. That's meaning they're a leader of a cult if they are controlling people that have nothing to do with them. Jay-Z and Beyonce have no right to control my movement. They have no right to speak about me. As long as I'm not in their jurisdiction and I'm not a part of who they are, they have no rights over me. And even then, God is the controller over anyone. So they have no right to have charge over you, basically. But if you're allowing that, then you're pretty much being a part of a cult or something of that nature. Now, granted, let me tell you what I've discovered, and it constantly kept falling out in the readings. And I do have several tarot readers that I need to go back to, and I need to apologize to them because they were telling me how I was doing my operation and what I was doing or whatever. It was allowing people to reach and grab my ideas and my things and my items, and I was feeding and I was telling people things or whatever that's to help humanity and the world, and I was giving voice in my opinion and even healing people in some senses. But it was several that was telling me go another way. And at the time and space and place, I couldn't understand why they was telling me no, move in another direction, go in another way, and because they knew what was occurring, you know what I'm saying? They knew what was going on. So therefore, they were telling me, like, no, do it in another way because all of these people are getting your items, getting your stuff. And especially at that particular time, if you don't have your items copywritten, people can take them and use them. And it could be a valuable piece of information or something that you own or something, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah. So anyway, I sit back and I watched. And then so I said, no, I'm going to see what's going on here. I'm going to see what's going on here because in the past, I've heard of people getting slaughtered by gangs of people. Okay, the queen bees, I guess, and the Barbies, and people will come after you for these particular celebrities and things of that nature. They have people, but if you have cliques and big gangs and people that support you that's going after one person, that's still a form of bullying. That's still a form of making you be a leader of a cult where you're causing people to destroy one individual when it doesn't take all of that. You never know if you could be that one leader that have your supporters to go after someone that could cause someone to go and commit suicide. So granted, here I am. I'm study watching things on the internet, and I've heard so many deep, dark secrets. Things that are being said and being exposed for people to be, of the Illuminati, and they're, doing things and they're sacrificing people and all of that in the industry and so forth or whatever. And I watch things and I have my eyes and my ears open wide, to do with these things. I will be right back to finish this video, guys.